Welcome to Pull the Pin Ready, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions on the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions,
but we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike. Let's pull the pin.
All right. Again, we're going to do another special here where we get some veterans in and go around with them and ask some questions. So we ready to bring them in, Mike?
Yeah, let's bring them in.
All right.
Who we have? Oh, shit. We got Rusty. Oh, damn, Mike. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Two good-looking guys right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right, guys. Hey, guys, just don't ever do that again, Mike. He just messed up the whole flow, man. He messed up the whole flow, I tell you.
Flow?
Yeah.
Flow?
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's always good.
Don't you have to have hair to have a flow?
Yeah, that's true, too.
I see that beard move. Did you see the beard? There was like two hairs. I saw him moving.
Yeah. All right, we're going to ask you guys a series of questions, if you don't mind, about recent events, and we just want to get your opinions from the veteran perspective. You guys ready to go?
Rock and roll.
All right, Jim. Let's get that first one.
First one is, how do you feel about what happened at the Capitol?
Guess Mike could go first.
Oh, I could. Man, I got all kinds of feelings.
Let it out, man.
They're all mixed, man. Because one hand, you've got the Republicans saying the Democrats did it. At the other hand, the Democrats saying the Republicans did it. Republicans coming out with all these videos like, well, this guy was at the freaking this place and that place and the other place. And it's like, bottom line is, why the fuck did they open the gates? What the actual fuck? What did you think was going to happen?
They didn't schedule a tour, you mean?
Wait. You opened the fucking gates and let them the fuck through.
Ooh. Wow, I didn't see that, Mike. But please continue.
Then you're leading them through the hallway. You're going to tell me that these guys broke into the Capitol and still stayed between the velvet ropes? Did you see that shit? They stayed inside the velvet ropes. It's like it's almost like they went, all right, so you guys are going to storm the Capitol. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You're going to storm the Capitol. But these places are off limits. We're going to put velvet ropes up so you can get through.
What about security?
What security? Jesus Christ, man! And then I watched this video on the guy who killed the police officer from New Jersey, right? Which, by the way, I don't know if anybody watched the opening night, New Jersey Devils versus the Boston Bruins. Very classy, very classy. They did a whole moment of silence for that officer. It was great. But they came out with this whole video about the guy who ended up killing him, bashing his head in with the fire extinguisher. And apparently he was also at some of the Antifa riots. The BLM riots. I don't even know who the hell started that shit anymore. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know what the fuck to believe. But yeah, apparently he was there on some of those riots. I think they said specifically one of the ones in Pennsylvania. He was at looting and shit. So yeah, I mean, that's what I got to say about the Capitol. Why the fuck did they open the gates? That's my biggest thing.
Exact same quote. Like, what did you expect was going to happen? And then you still got that hanging over your head. Like, is this real, or is this? Are all these people, Antifa groups, or are they professional rioters? What are they? Because they didn't, like he said, they didn't storm the place like they wanted it. Same thing. The velvet ropes were there. What happened? Like, I figured that's the first thing they'd go in and tear down. But yeah, I'm in agreement. Like, you open the floodgates, bad stuff's going to happen. And just like I said, you don't know what to believe anymore. Who's even that stuff could be staged. It may not even be the Capitol. It might be a green screen off in Hollywood somewhere. You can't ever tell. It's smoke and mirrors these days.
Kind of makes you think about the moon landing, huh?
Yeah.
Technology, my friend.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Jim, you want to go to the next question?
No, Mike, this since there's only 4 of us, why don't we go ahead and give our input on this?
Well, I was going to say it's kind of like when you go to some of these other, let's call it events, and you have these pallets of bricks stays in certain areas. That's why when Mike brought up the velvet ropes, it's like, what the hell? And it's the same thing with those bricks. It's like, what the hell? Now, something right here is not clicking. It's not making sense. So yeah, I can understand why someone would feel that way.
Well, I'm a little skeptical anyway, and we know this because let's go back to 9/11. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember 9/11? Now, I'm not a guy that says 9/11 was on. I'm not saying 9/11 was on purpose. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going that far. But what became of 9/11? The Patriot Act, right?
Right.
Some legal spying on U.S. citizens in the name of terrorism, right? Mm-hmm. So that alone makes you think, okay, that's awesome, patriotic. It brought us together. Go ahead and spy on us a little bit, And that was a Republican president. Now, fast forward. Now, Trump is giving a speech while I almost call it the White House. The Capitol was being breached during the speech. So it clearly wasn't related to the speech, in my opinion. But it makes you wonder, now look what's happening after that happened. It was immediately vilified. It was blamed on one party or one particular group so that could be used as a weapon. And what are they doing? They're running around censoring. They're coming up with laws now. It just reminds me way too much of what happened after 9/11, except they don't have a patriotic angle here. It's still divisive. So I think it was terrible. I think we already spoke about on an episode. Whomever did what they did, it was terrible. But you had people in there who had no clue what was going on. They were like, oh, cool. Look, we're in the Capitol. Like, literally.
Yeah. I mean, how can you take anything seriously led by a Viking?
Well, the Vikings did back in the day.
Just saying. Nowadays?
Yeah.
Was it? I know once you got inside, it was pretty much led by him. But I was like, I didn't get the whole costume. I didn't know where he was coming from with that.
That's his stick, though. That's his. Yeah. He does that all the time. He goes wherever he goes. Yeah. So.
All right, Jim. Let's go to the next one.
All right. With regard to the storm on the Capitol, what do you think is happening in our country for Americans to feel it's okay to do this?
Nothing. Fucking nothing. Honestly, man, nothing should lead to the death of anybody. All right. First and foremost.
Right.
All right. Nothing. There's a lot going on in our country right now. But the answers aren't storm the Capitol and loot fucking small businesses. Those aren't the answers.
Right.
I'm not very political, so I can't give you the answers, but those aren't it. Period. I don't give a shit what the fuck is going on, man. That's not an answer to anything.
Well, some people, Mike, would say that they feel like, at least with this protest or riot, if you will, they took it to the politicians who are definitely the problem in this country.
I mean, I agree with you. The politicians are absolutely the problem in this country. And it's not, and it doesn't matter what fucking side you're on. They're all fucking crooked.
Right.
They're all fucking ridiculous. And this is the reason why we can't take any of this shit seriously or at face value. We have no fucking idea. For all I know, the Democrats set this shit up to make Trump look bad while he's giving a speech. This entire presidency, Democrats have done everything they can to besmirch Trump. Everything. Maybe this was it. They were like, all right, well, the first impeachment didn't work. He didn't leave office. Now we got to impeach him again so he doesn't get Secret Service. Wait a minute. Why do you care that he doesn't get Secret Service? Why do you care that he doesn't get Secret Service? Do you think maybe he's getting suicided soon?
Well, that's a
Really,
conspiracy. We
Four
don't
more
need to
years
jump into.
until he can run for election again. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Secret
Well-
Service out of the way makes it a little easier to suicide him.
Well, if that's not that's not the only thing that can happen is he doesn't get Secret Service. If they do impeach him this time, then it was he can't run
he's
again.
impeached. He's impeached.
Yeah, he can't run again.
But there's no way the House vote is going to go through before
Right.
2 days from now.
Right.
He's impeached by the Congress, but he's not impeached by trial, just like the last one.
Right. So it really carries no weight.
And they're not meeting again until 2 days from now.
Yeah.
Which is when he hands the presidency over to Biden anyway. So can't really impeach him.
Right.
So why did you waste my tax money on it?
Mm. What do you think, Rusty?
Yeah, I don't. I think the American people just feel like they can do anything that you want to nowadays. You're not going to go to jail. You're just going to be put on the media spotlight. It seems like we're in a day and age where the worse that you act, the more publicity that you'll get, and it's positive publicity for some reason. No matter what you do wrong, people would find the good in it. And that's what's sad about it is we're not fine, and especially veterans, the president, he's at the top of your chain of command, like him or not, you got to do what he says. So I don't know if it's with like we was talking about a while back with the a man, a woman, everyone wants equal rights, and then it's white, and then it's black, and then it's racist, and it turns into religion, and it turns into political. There's just absolute chaos everywhere. And there's no one, you see these videos now, someone gets pulled over by a cop and they pull out the video and they're asking them to roll down their window and they're giving them all these rules of why they can't roll down their window. When I was 16, if a cop pulled you over, you just roll down your window. It's just kind of a common respect thing, common courtesy. And everyone's just, you can just run amok. You can do whatever you want to in America right now. This right here is a true meaning of the land of the free. Just do what you want to, and it strikes me as it's just crazy to think that the country feels that it's okay to, but again, you back up and say, is this real? I couldn't tell you if it is or not. I'm right there on the fence with everybody else. I don't know what to believe anymore.
I mean, you're right though, Rusty. No publicity is bad publicity, they say, right?
That's right.
No publicity is bad publicity.
Yep.
And welcome to America, the home of the anarchy.
Right.
Mike, you want to?
I'm an anarchist in a sense where I just rather do nothing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that's anarchy in itself. But as far as I think I'll agree where there's no accountability, if you will. There's no like if someone throws a brick through the window, someone breaks in the Capitol, whatever, break in after you let them through. When all of that happens, I don't know. No one's going to jail. No, there's no accountability. So that to me is leading up to, well, they did this, so next time we got to amp it up a little bit. So now they're like taking it to the politicians, and I think it's going to be different. The next time something happens, they're going to respond differently because they saw that it's coming to, or they see now that it's coming to their doorsteps.
I think that's why they already did something different. That's why there's 20,000 National Guards at the Capitol.
Well, they got to get vetted first.
Well, they're pulling them out to get vetted. They were actually there, right? We're a bunch of them there.
Have you seen the size of those people? Like the actual girth of those National Guard?
National Guard, Mike.
I'm just saying.
They're brethren.
Just saying. In the Army National Guard, we can't eat it all.
I want to go back to like what Rusty was talking about, and I think that's a big factor. I think these people existed. I mean, if we look at all these, like the Chaz in Seattle, like that's just a big collection of these people. I think these people have always existed. They're the ones that, that tie the tails of the cats and throw it over the clothesline. I mean, these are just people that just want to cause chaos. I mean, that's what they've always existed. And I think that's always happened. I think social media has given these people a platform. I think it's given them a place to get attention. Now I think we're in the era of, COVID lockdown. So people are going stir crazy and bored, combined with the fact that even our mainstream media is doing things for clicks. So what do you think the social media people, I can almost say that I don't know for a fact, so I'm just going to go on a whim, but I think a majority of the people in the Capitol building were filming or taking pictures to post on their Instagram. They weren't in there to actually start something or do something. They all just wanted to get in and be the first one to film or sit in the chair and do this. They were all looking for fame. And I think they're just the bad people that would do bad things who now have a platform.
Yep.
Seems legit.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, because I saw a recent video come out about some guys were taking photos of some of the papers that were left in the building there, and it's no more than 20 people. Now I don't know if that was at the beginning or towards the end of everything, but I was like, man, there's not too many people in there. You know what I mean? So it's just that select few that's doing all of that. And it's like you said before, somebody had, well, for me to see it or for us to see it, that means what? Someone had their cell phone out, recording everything, or taking pictures.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with the BLM protest, and it was only a few people actually causing the chaos,
right?
While the majority of the people out there were there to peacefully protest,
right.
Yeah,
and we had a saying in the Marine Corps, didn't we?
Who's next?
Which one?
Next.
It's always that 10%, that motherfucking 10%.
Yeah.
There's always one. There's always one.
There's always one. That's it.
Yeah, the Blue Falcon of the group.
Yeah, and that's how the whole group is going to be labeled.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, in that platform, the social media platform, as myself in my civilian job a few years ago, I traveled everywhere. So all it would take is me snapping a picture on the beach in Waikiki and saying, "Oh, I had a great vacation in Hawaii," and then the next week being over in Seoul, Korea, taking a picture saying, "There's really nothing going on in South Korea. I'm over here," and people saying, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Man, I just travel. I've got investments. Long my work is paying for me to go there. I'm actually over there on the clock. I'm working, but it depends how I want to portray myself. And it's all about perspective. And the perspective of the U.S. right now is so, like I said, who knows what's going on? So even right now, if I see Jim, if he's on here just raising utter hell, just trying to be as racist as it can be, and then all of a sudden Mike says one bad thing back at him, all we got to do is go and edit that video of everything that Jim just said, and then just point the finger at Mike and say, "Look, he's racist. Look, he just said this in the middle of nowhere."
Yeah,
I mean they proved that shit too, time and time again.
Let's try that, Mike. We'll get clicks for that.
Yeah, right. No,
and I'll get death threats.
They've proved that time and time again. I mean, the way that the news edits videos nowadays is absolutely asinine. It all depends on who you're rooting for, who you're rooting against. Like that whole what was it, that teenage kid in the Trump hat who got into a confrontation with
the Catholic
with a Native
kid?
American? Yeah. Got into a confrontation with the Native American tribe, right?
Yeah.
And they painted they painted this kid in a terrible light, and then somebody came up with a full video, and he didn't even approach them. They came up to him and started screaming at him, and he wasn't going to take it. He screamed back. They edited it to make it look like he's just screaming at them.
Right.
Yeah. Well, to Rusty's point, same thing like you're saying there is we're still good people on both sides. We're still hearing that from politicians who have access to the full footage and transcript. We're still hearing about it.
Yep.
So people don't want to be.
I don't think it's just people who have access. It's people who know the truth. but
Mhm.
they're still putting that narrative out there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's all it is. It's that old clickbait, you know?
Yeah. All right. We ready to move on to the next one? You guys?
Yeah, what's the next one?
All right. Do you think this is about President Trump or something else?
100% about Trump. 100%.
Hey, Mike,
About Trump.
take your time.
No,
Take
I
your
don't need
time.
to take my, I don't need to take my fucking time, dude. No. I don't need to take my time. Like I said earlier, man, for the past 4 years, they have vilified Trump for absolutely nothing. Vilified him. Oh shit, Russian collusion won't stick? Let's try Ukraine. Let's try that one. See if that one will stick. No, it won't stick? Well, we're going to impeach him anyway. Fuck it. Just because, fuck him.
Right.
All right. Give everybody a stimulus. 2000. Nope. We'll wait till Joe's president, and then we'll start giving people money like he's the hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what I tell you, as soon as Biden got elected, what would happen? They'd all of a sudden have vaccines for the COVID.
Oh, yeah.
I told you that shit when we were on air last time, didn't I? And
We
what
don't
fucking happened?
We don't remember you, Mike.
Yeah.
What episode?
Give me that shit. Give me that shit. I've got it saved.
They got to
Right?
edit it out.
I fucking told you. And
It's
now
a
there's
sad
not
day
one,
right now,
but
like-
2 vaccines out.
Yeah, 2.
One
Well, yeah,
by Viagra.
Right.
Double duty.
Should have. I had stocks in Pfizer when I was in the Marine Corps, and I got rid of it. Knowing that they would roll this, so this. Yeah, this. I don't know if it. Well, like I said, I believe that it's about Trump, but there are so many other aspects of it. But the bad thing is we're fixing to go through a presidential inauguration, and they're telling people don't even go. They've shut down Airbnbs. Hotels are shutting down. This is supposed to be something that America is supposed to celebrate. A new president coming in and welcome him in. And they're shutting the city down, saying, do not come. It's not safe. If it's not even safe to be at the place where a new president's coming in, America is not safe.
Well, Rusty, can I ask you a follow-up on that? Because I want to know this. Because you remember when COVID was an excuse for not going to things like rallies and things like that? You think there's another excuse behind this? Like it's really not about safety?
Yeah, it's not about safety. We're
like I'm just saying, I'm just throwing maybe a conspiracy out there. Like maybe the underwhelming numbers of people that come will look very bad, so they're telling everybody not to come.
That's exactly what it is. It's they're again that perspective. It's not safe. We've got 20,000 National Guard guarding. More than likely, there's probably 4 guys that have live ammo in their M16s right now. That's it. Everybody else is carrying dummy loads. It's just to look good. And what happens when the question is what happens if somebody opens fire during this, and then you have 20,000 armed troops that are going to fire back? What the hell is going to happen at that point? It's going to turn into civilian versus military on our own turf? We're going to be it's going to be a nightmare, because there's going to be a lot of innocent lives lost for the simple reason of getting caught in crossfire or something. I wouldn't take my kids to this just because even if COVID or anything was going on, I wouldn't take my kids into a big public place like that. But with all this tension, if I was there and even the National Guard come out and pulled a weapon out on me, if I wasn't doing anything wrong, I would draw back on them, even if I wasn't doing anything wrong, just because there's so many people now that are quick on that trigger finger. They're just, young kids. Then my thing is, I don't think they should deploy, honestly, 20,000 National Guard units got deployed. They should back up and honestly put in Navy SEALs, put in special operations, put in groups of teams that are actually going to do something and not take innocent lives, because I was in the Marine Corps. I was a reservist. So if you took me living a reservist life, coming in 1 weekend a month, I've got my own views of this whole thing. And then all of a sudden you want to give me a loaded gun and send me to the Capitol?
Oh, somebody please step to me. I want to shoot somebody.
You know, yeah, I'm gonna shoot somebody. Exactly. Not that I've been active duty training. I've been overseas in 3 different wars, and now I'm back here. And they want me to go to the Capitol. Okay, I'll go and hold it down. It's the people that are trigger happy right now, and I would be willing to guarantee there's going to be, if anything happens, if there's one shot fired, we're probably going to be looking. 9/11 will just be a thing of the past. It will be in the 2021.
Then they'll be coming out with ATAB. All troops are bad.
Yep, that's exactly it. And then we'll go back to the Vietnam type era, where if I'm caught wearing this Marine shirt, somebody will stab me or just badmouth me because of what? It's just something they don't even understand. You know, they'll just, so that's I don't know if I think it initially started because of Trump, but I think the aftermath here is something else. And I think that something else is something that none of us can even fathom or even understand. That what was that movie that they Tom Cruise with you want the truth, you can't handle the truth.
Oh yeah.
And he was saying you can't fathom these things. It's like you take that clip and put that live time right now. That's kind of where we're at. And I've always believed too I've always believed a president can come in. I could be from Alabama and say, hey, I'll pull all of our troops home. I'll give you more money. And then you go and you become the president, and they close those doors and they open a desk full of shit and say, this is really what's going on in the world.
Right. Yeah.
You have to back up and say, well, damn, I can't pull all of our troops home. I didn't know all that crap was going on. Yeah. So there's that something else over there that we don't understand. So yeah, it's just like I say, it's fixing to get bad over there. I think the Capitol is fixing to be a war zone probably in the next few days.
So what do you think, Mike? You want to take this?
Yeah, I think it's all about Trump. I think it's all about Trump. Yeah. I think it's all about Trump because, one, if you are a Trump supporter and you were there protesting, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But this small percentage of people just made your whole movement look bad. You were there supporting Trump and Pence, and that's it. So it's all about Trump. They were there because of Trump. If you want to call it the establishment, people wanted Trump to stay in because he wasn't a part of that establishment. So they supported Trump. So yeah, no matter what, it all comes back to Trump.
Yeah, I think depending who you're talking about, I think that same establishment you're talking about, all of this has been about Trump. All this has been about Trump when it comes to the establishment. So I get that part of it, and that's pretty clear to me because of, like Mike explained earlier, all the things they've been trying to do. But I think the Democrats are foolish if they think the movement is all about Trump. If they think that people coming there for a rally is because, yay, Trump's our guy, I think it's way bigger than that. I think Trump allowed that curtain to be pulled over. I know we talked about this, or at least we heard from other vets about this, but he's allowed that curtain to be pulled over, and all of the recent incidents, the COVID, everything, that the tempers of people are boiling now. And like Mike, you've said before, things have been forced into people's backyards now. So people have to respond. So I think it could have been Trump or it could have been Elon Musk, and people would have been still doing this. I think it's not just about Trump. I think the Democrats and the rhinos and all the establishment people and all those people that are just following lockstep, they think it's all about Trump. I think they're underestimating the people, though. And that's why right now it's kind of dangerous what's happening because of what Rusty said. They're using things and manipulating people with their identity politics that's causing a ripple that's going to make them realize this isn't just about Trump.
I believe. No, I'll wait for the next question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready for that?
I was going to go into something on the next one.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, we'll move on to that one. So next one is, where do you stand on where the direction of this country is going?
Down the fucking shitter.
So you stand on it?
Yeah, I sit on it. Take a shit. No, I mean this whole fucking, like, just the stupid shit that we're arguing about now, like the amen a woman bullshit that we're arguing right now. It's just absolute crap. Absolute crap. Like, I get it. Get it. Everybody wants equal rights. Everybody wants equal this, equal that, equal that. I get that, and that's great. But you're not going to do it by changing a men to a woman or saying the both. That's not going to help shit. What is that going to do? What's it going to do for you? Nothing.
Zero.
Absolutely nothing. Fight for the equal pay. Women getting paid the same as men across the board. Fight for that shit, because that's going to do something. Right? Fight for equal opportunities. Fight for all of it.
Yeah, fight for my OnlyFriends page so I can get more viewers than those women that get equal pay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, it's only fans. I don't even know the page.
He did that shit on purpose.
Right.
He trolls that shit all the time.
Uh,
He bankrolls a couple of them.
Trying to even out the pay gap here. I'm trying to pay, you know,
Right.
the side money that's never counted.
I'm just saying, like, changing. They're fighting for the wrong fucking shit, is what it is, right? And just the severity of each thing is just so up in flux. Like, Black Lives Matter, something to fight about, okay? If it's the actual Black Lives Matter movement, not people fucking bring crates of bricks into a Black Lives Matter protest and saying, "Here you go, guys, have fun."
Yeah.
You know, fighting for equal rights, equal opportunity. Absolutely, I completely agree with it. That's your right. I fought for it, and I'm not going to deny you it. Okay, but I will not ever in my life say a woman and actually mean it, because that's just dumb.
that makes no sense at all. None.
Mm.
Yeah,
So-
no, I'll tell you my stance on this is, you know, I've got the veteran community that I was raised around. You know, I joined the Corps when I was I signed in when I was 17 in the year 2000. Nowadays, you've got people. I'm the middle age group. You know, here I am, 38 years old. So there's people that are anywhere between, especially now being deployed overseas, that are 18 up to 45 or so that have experienced the wars and OIF that were a ripple of the 9/11 attacks. And you've got all of people like me, and then you've got this group, these that think they're entitled and all this and coming in. And when the sad truth of it is that if violence actually occurs, the people like us on this phone call, we're going to be the one that when violence happens, we're going to back into a corner and we're going to make sure everyone's okay. And we're going to look out for each other and we're going to find out who's got our six. And then we're fixing to develop a plan and then we're going to move forward. And these kids these days, if when violence happens, they're going to run and they're going to cry and they're going to want to know, what can I do? What happened to me? Where am I supposed to go? And they're demolishing everything with the social media, with all that, because it's eventually going to get into that. What do? You don't come to my property crying with all that shit because you'll get shot and you won't like it. Or you don't go over to any of these guys on this video's property and say that you're going to do something to them, because they will get violent with you. That's the violence is a strong word to use, but it's, you know, like I said, 9/11 was something. I believe that it was self-inflicted. I believe that there was some kind of conspiracy there, but it made the United States bond as one. You could not find an American flag anywhere. They were sold out. You couldn't buy a yellow ribbon anywhere as a magnet on your car. And now here we are 20 years later, and people are burning the flag. They're stepping on the flag. They're doing all this. So, you know, where I stand on it is I respect people and what they want to do. Like you said, if you want to have a peaceful protest, that's fine. Go and stand outside. But if you pick up a brick and you throw it at me, don't be mad with what's fixing to happen next. You know, and because I'll be one of those guys on those edited videos of, you know, a former Marine draws a weapon on a a bystander when, that's not the truth. But the reality of it is this Facebook stuff, all this live platforms, the stuff that we're using right now, eventually it's going to go away, and it's going to become a dog eat dog world. And it's going to be who's going to be able to withstand the storm that's coming. And, I talk to veterans. Veterans understand we've got it. When shit hits the fan, I'm fixing to get my ammo. I'm going to back into my corner, and I'm going to make sure I've got my good buddies close. And anyone else, God have mercy on your soul that comes across that field if I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
And the younger generation don't understand that. They don't have that fight. They don't have that, that understanding that if I'm standing here and I get shot in the chest, they run. And then our veteran buddies, they'll grab your chest. They'll calm you down. They'll try to take care of you. So it's fixing to get bad. Like I said, it's fixing to get really bad. And I think that only the stronger are going to survive in this. It's a sad day in America that we have actually, these two people that are there are the best two that the United States has. I like Trump. I'm a Trump fan, but are you telling me that Trump and Biden is the best that we have for America? That just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Is surely this isn't it. And if this is the best two we got, I don't know what we're going to do.
Hey, Rusty, I just saw something that said something about the most liked and because the most liked president ever needs 20,000 troops to protect him.
There you go. Yeah, he's liked by liked by a lot and hated by many, or and that's the thing, what's crazy is, like even when Obama was in, we kind of needed that president. We needed the first black president. We needed the first person that was going to be friends with Jay-Z and Beyonce, and it was kind of a new wave, and it was kind of the new. I don't know. It was kind of like you had a president that was moving forward with the times. He was into social media. He was, so as social media was growing, our president was growing. But there's things that Obama did that I didn't like, but never would it make me want to cause a riot the way that we have now. Okay. And that's why I say, with the perspective, I think that this Trump-driven thing is there are people on a payroll somewhere that's going out to do this, because nobody, me personally, I've got some close buddies that would do damn near anything with. We would bury bodies together if we have to. But if I told them, let's get together and let's go take over the Capitol, they would say, hell no, that's stupid. Yeah. Like, you're dumb.
Yep.
But, so somehow I don't think this is all really what we think. Like I said, it's all smoke and mirrors right now. And the truth will set you free. I just wish somebody knew the truth and would tell me about it.
I hated a lot of the shit that Obama did. A lot of it. I went a month and a half without getting fucking paid under Obama.
Yeah.
Okay? I went a month and a half without getting fucking paid under Obama. Not once did I think about storming shit.
Yeah.
And you messed with my fucking paycheck. I almost lost my house because of it.
Right.
I still didn't think about storming no Capitol.
No.
Or trying to fucking storm the White House.
Well, let's say though, Mike, you got some training, specialized training, you understand that kind of environment. I mean, you take regular people and you put them in desperate situations. What do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to pull it together, pull themselves up by their bootstraps and just handle it?
Man. It's always that 10%.
Yeah, it is.
The rest of us, man.
Yep.
But that 10% may grow. I mean, if this is establishment against the rest, if it's the rich against the poor, that 10% is going to change. I mean, I might as well tell you, I might as well just jump into my thoughts is like, I sit on the fence sometimes with this stuff, because like Mike always convinces me that, this is the same old, like this isn't the first time this kind of stuff has happened. And I totally get that. Like, I do understand that. But I also look on the other side, like right now, they are literally banning people, the conservative voices, taking down competitive apps, and they're using this stuff for the excuse. And they're even right now, whether you like it or not, they are putting the military in the spotlight while trying to use the military. I mean, they're literally trying to vet 20,000 troops. Like, what are you saying? Like, these people aren't loyal? They all took an oath. What are you saying? That you can't trust them. But on the other side, I think Kamala Harris is like, now dedicating herself to veteran families, and like you're confusing people. And I think that's what started all this. Everybody's starting to see they're talking out of both sides of their face, and it's going to boil over.
Democrats never gave a shit about the troops, man. Never.
But they're pretending to. That's my point. They're pretending to now.
They're great at pretending. They're also
How are they pretending to, though?
Well, you really believe Kamala Harris cares about the troops? You really think that's the platform?
No, I haven't seen anything that she's done or anything like that, except for talking. I'm not going to go there. But I've seen some what I consider to be fake stuff. But when you talk about caring for the troops, I haven't seen anything.
Well, no, it's a lot of talk right now. And that's all we do know is talk.
Oh, okay.
But I think the fact that we're headed to be vilified, like Rusty said about the whole Vietnam era stuff, like I understand because I hung out with a lot of Vietnam vets, and I can only imagine the entire public turning on veterans. You know what I mean? I can only imagine that. And nowadays, I don't know. Like Rusty said, I don't know if we have, even some of our veterans grew up with Fortnite and Battlefront and, Call of Duty. Like these people don't know their limits, and they think a reset button is real.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So it could get a lot worse than the Vietnam vets. I think they were more disciplined and understood.
I don't know why, to be honest, when you look at the background of some of the people who are involved in that rioting at the Capitol building, you had some, retired law enforcement, some active duty law enforcement, retired military, and I think you had a couple of soldiers, active duty soldiers. So when they talk about vetting the 20,000, I was like, yeah, I get it. I get it, because they really can't use active duty soldiers or Marines, and maybe they could use Navy, but they can't use active duty. So my thing is they can only use the National Guard, so they have to vet them because of what just happened at the Capitol. So
bring in the Coast Guard. Let's go.
Yeah, they should use the Coast Guard.
Can I ask you though, Mike? Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
Why do they need to vet them? Don't you get vetted when you go in?
Yeah, but don't you get vetted when you go in to be a police officer? And look what happened.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, though. Is so then we can trust no one. Then everyone needs to be vetted. So maybe our politicians need to be vetted.
Oh, don't go there. Don't go there.
Oh, now you're playing with fire, man.
Yeah.
We're going to get shut down.
Yeah.
Faster than Trump's Twitter account.
Yeah.
We're going to get shut down anyway.
Yeah. But
and make sure that there's so on this platform you can't trace like IP addresses and all that stuff, because we'll get suicided too. So keep a somewhere.
Clinton's coming for you.
I know it.
God. Oh God.
So is there anything pressing that we haven't discussed? Mike, I know you've been asking the other guys questions about how they're going to react, and I know you spoke about yours, but this is the chance to talk about anything outside their questions if you want to.
What are we talking about? The COVID vaccine-induced zombie apocalypse? Is that what we're talking about now? Because I'm ready, man. Let's do this.
I prefer zombies because then we can at least justify it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could justify the immediate headshots, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting 2 on the chest. That's
no.
One of my coworkers just went to get her COVID vaccine on Saturday, and I went, all right, I'll be the one to put you down then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
I will say this though, getting back to one of the questions about where do you see the direction of the country, I see it as a status quo. As long as they keep us divided, they will always win. Like if you look at the recent Capitol building and what happened, if the message was just, hey, what they did was wrong, and not waving Trump banners and all of that, I think the message could have come across a lot better. You get what I'm saying? I'm not even talking about storming the Capitol or any. That's like if you look at a Black Lives Matter. Okay. Why you got the bricks again? You know what I mean? It's like that's just taken away from your message. But I truly believe politicians, they like that.
They need that. They need that.
They don't just like it.
Yeah,
Mike. They don't just like it. They enforce it.
Yeah.
If you think that they don't have a hand in that pallet of bricks being placed at BLM sites, if you think they don't have a hand in opening the gate for the fucking protesters at the Capitol, then you're just choosing to put blinders on.
I agree with you 100%.
And
I
Mike,
agree.
that's what I've been talking about. That's why I was saying about like it's not about Trump. I think that's what the establishment is not understanding. I think they're trying to act like Trump is
the enemy. Trump's the enemy in the moment. Okay.
Sure. Yes.
After Trump's gone, there's still going to be another enemy.
Yes.
And I'm not disagreeing with you right on that. The problem that the establishment has with Trump is he's not part of the establishment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Jim, no matter what, that's what I say.
You can't buy it.
It has to do with Trump.
Well, right now he's the
establishment
center.
wants to get him out. Yeah. So no matter what, it's Trump.
But I think they're foolish to think that it's going to end when Trump is gone.
Oh no, it's done.
No. It might not end because the movement is always there, but it's not going to end. But I think it's going to calm the waters a lot.
Well, I don't agree with that, and only one reason for that, Mike, is because the censorship that's happening. They're literally trying to silence the voices they don't agree with. And I don't remember a time in history. Well, maybe there was a censorship, but it was like a boiling frog kind of thing where you kind of move the people out of the media that you don't want talking. But it was never an outright, hey, you can't say anything because Trump caused a riot and you support Trump and now you're part of it. That censorship is going to push these people underground and they're going to force them to come back stronger. Where if they just played the game and gave them a little bit here, a little bit there, and just let them talk, then they can do it with them like Alex Jones went. You know, hey, he's just crazy. Let him go.
Yeah.
But they're now forcing people who have legitimate voices, legitimate concerns into silence, and that's never going to end well.
Well, I mean, you're talking how much time though? 3 to 5 years short term, or 7 to 10 long term?
No, they're doing it now.
No, I know that, but I'm talking about when you're talking about coming back stronger.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's why I say I think it's going to calm the waters. It's like they're silencing that demographic.
The calm before the storm.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's a calm before the storm.
right. The calm, like 20,000 soldiers calm.
No, you know the real reason it's going to be calm is because you're not going to have all these Republicans up in arms. Oh, well, let's do everything we can to fucking impeach Biden. You know what I mean? You're just not going to have that. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
we don't do that.
No, what's going to happen is they're going to have a bunch of Republicans now taking the focus off of what the message was supposed to be. Let's say at the Capitol building, for instance. Right now, they're going to be watching Biden's every move, and no matter what he does, what he says, that's going to be their focus, and that's where they want you. Mm-hmm. That's status quo. No matter what Biden does, Republicans are going to complain about it, complain, and that's how it is in America. Now that what you're talking about, that voice.
But what you're saying, Mike James, is that we will verbally complain. Not set buildings on fire and loot small businesses. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
agree.
So I 100% agree with that.
Yeah,
because that's just not what Republicans do. They don't necessarily have their way. The crybabies have their way, so the crybabies are going to stay silent for 4 years. They're going to bitch at all the Republicans bitching, but other than that, they're going to be silent for the next 4 years.
So you agree with me that now we're going to return to a status quo?
And
until the next GOP, yes,
that's
exactly.
That's the intention of the establishment, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they won right now. The establishment has won because they've convinced the people.
Yep.
So the question I kind of have is, if you break down President Trump's time in office, how much of that time was used as a true president and not of trying to fight and about his personal things and about he had ties with the Russians with his business before, and then he goes to the impeachment, and then it's so when you back up and look at a 4-year term,
4 months, 22 days, and 16 hours.
Yeah, so he
maybe 4 weeks.
Yeah, if you take this 4-year term, you can pretty much cut it in half. That he's only been able to be a true president for 2 years, maybe, and then you come up to this, is like you said. So when Biden comes in office, when things don't go as Biden says, what's going to happen at that point? Is it going to
blame it on Trump?
Right?
I only had 4 years. He's going to do the same thing Obama did. I only had 4 years. Bush is the one who fucked it up.
Yep.
I only had 8 years. Bush is the one who fucked it up. I'm not saying Bush didn't fuck shit up.
No.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Bush fucked some shit up.
Yeah.
But
No,
I-
like, Jim knows.
But Mike, I do remember the blame Bush. The whole joke was
Yeah.
running wild.
Yes,
blame
and I
Bush.
remember. Now, I'm not denying that. See, that's
Yeah.
the one thing you always miss is that I agree with you, but I always flip it and say, I remember in the beginning of Bush, they said, well, he's trying to get us through the Clinton Gore recession and all of that, blaming it all on Clinton Gore, and we're like, hey, we're still, but now we're in a war, and now it's always justifying your party. Like I say, same thing the Democrats did with President Obama, right? Same thing. Well, they can't really say it with President Trump because
I don't deny the establishment and the corruption, but I just don't think they play the same games. I think they all get the same results, but they don't play the same games. I think they each have their own game plan.
It's the big thing too is it's the now. We're fixing to vote Biden in, and for the next 4 years, whatever the now being, he's going to try to fix. But you don't think that, okay, I just signed an order and this is going to go on for the next 100 years. I think any president runs across that, whether it be like stimulus checks. Hey, if we get into we experience a national disaster and if it lasts 3 months, we're going to give someone a $600 check. And then the next person comes and says we're going to give a $2,000 check. Well, then all of a sudden, 20 years from now, people's like, hey, we just went on a recession. We had a bill signed back in 2019 by Trump that says we get $2,000 a month. Where's it at? So, when you sign, you don't really, it's kind of a fix for the now, but when you sign those orders, they go on for years and years and years. And, there's still stuff happening now that was because of Obama, probably stuff that still happened because of Bush.
Well, I don't think they can do that, can they? Because like right now, Biden is already claiming that he's going to write executive orders to undo half of the things Trump did with the Paris Accord and all that.
Because you can do that. That you can do.
Yes,
but
the legislation
some presidents don't end up doing that. You see what I'm saying?
I would be surprised because once again, Trump, he did the same thing with Obama, right? He's trying to, hey, I'm gonna get rid of what he did. No, we're not doing that, right? So now Biden doing that, I just don't see it. He can talk it, but I just don't see it.
I think he's going to do it because I don't think we already agreed Biden's not going to be president for more than 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe. It's going to happen.
Who's we? Who's
me and the mouse in my pocket? Did we not have this discussion already? I have a mouse in my pocket.
Yeah, you're right. You did say that.
I mean, the Democrats have already set the groundwork for an Article 25, man. They've already set that groundwork of Biden's kind of insane a little bit, isn't he? Just a little bit, maybe. We want Kamala Harris, so let's just keep running with that whole. Biden might be insane. He might be.
Yeah.
Dementia.
I told you if Trump does not come out and declare himself identifying as a woman and claim to be the first female president, he would be doing himself a disservice. All right, guys, we're gonna have to cut it here. We don't need to jump into Pull the Pin because it's a special edition, but we do want to thank you guys for joining and sharing.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Just gonna bump you out for a minute. You're free to leave if you want. Well, we'll do the closing, and you guys have a great day. Thank you much. All right, Mike. Glad we had that. That was a pretty long one, longer than I expected, but good talk.
But that's when we interacted on that one. Remember what I said on the last one? Yeah, it would have been way over an hour.
But let's thank the audience for tuning in, and hope they enjoyed at least the discussion we had. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you come back next time. And until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here. Pull the pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin already.